We don't have to stop talking just because I hit the button.
Well,
Yeah, and congratulations, Randy and Russ on Shadow Kingdom.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very proud of that. It's going to be a great product. Can't tell you. It's going to be super good.
That is really good.
I'd love to get to 200 if we could.
What
is it now?
It's 182.
Wow.
I got to back it myself. I just don't have the money yet.
We see you out there. You only have a week. We see you out there. Come on in. Come on in. There's refreshments in the back of the hall. Excuse the donuts are a little stale and dry.
They are.
Anyway.
Just dropped jam on my trousers the other day. It was not good.
Wait, what was that?
You got to be careful.
Taste
jam.
Taste the biscuit.
Taste the biscuit.
Jam.
Taste the trousers.
Right. Taste the
trousers. Jam in your donut. None of that jelly crap.
I'm just not going to go.
Biscuit.
Yeah. Anyway. Come on in, folks.
Jam and a biscuit as well.
There we are. We'll start with a few things and get this show underway. In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is the Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at funmycomic.com. No slouches there. 182 backers already. We're at 69% of the of the goal. 69. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one too.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
That's right. Come on in, folks. It's time for Sunday Funnies. It is the what is that? The 7th of April, 2024.
Wow. What happened to that first quarter of the year?
Yeah. One more week. Taxes are due.
Anyway. Crap. Taxes.
There's a hint. Yeah. Yow. Did mine back in February, but I'm holding off on paying them until the last minute.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Got the check ready to go. We'll just stick it in the mail right on the 15th, so it gets that date stamp.
Ours due in January. We have a tax return we have to do, and then we pay it in the following January. Yeah.
That would be logical to actually do it at the start of the year instead of into the first quarter. Yeah.
Hey, Russ, can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Yeah. Hold on.
Just
that better?
A bit. Yeah.
Readjust your monkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
No, I did not say that.
That's the rhetorical she.
Different she.
Different
she.
Yep. I see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. Folks, I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my stuff over at aerocomics.store, where you can find some great books over there, like let me thumb through them here, like Craig White's Soul Tack and Justin Sweet and Luke Stone's Chrome Dog. But also you can catch my Paragon over there with artwork by J.R. Harris, a great superhero story, another goofy superhero story called The Fool, and a lot of other books like Calico, which is a great fantasy story with artwork by C. Michael Lanning, and now Alice in Chains should be available up over there as well, with artwork by Abdul Rashid, who I'm hoping to have a interview with here on the podcast soon. So aerocomics.store, go over there and take a look. So also joining me today is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books, 11 published so far, which you can get them all on Amazon. Or you can get this one, which details my trip to see the great Jack Kirby at his house, get this on New Haven Publishing. If you go to Fund My Comic, you'll be able to get a copy of this. It's my comic character Hatch. This annotated book details how he came to be through the years, and features lots of artwork. Some published, some unpublished, and you can get that on Fund My Comic. And you can, if you go to Amazon, you can get the latest edition of my magazine, Comics Unlimited, issue 15, which is just published this week, which contains articles by Randy, amongst other people. And it's all about comics.
And I hope you caught all my grammatical errors.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, because I went through and reread that, and I'm like, ooh, I sent that to Glenn.
It's all right. It's not the only one.
He's gonna correct all the spelling errors from American English to English.
I tend to leave it. I know you spell color wrong, but I realize that's not your fault. But I tend to leave that.
Color and flavor and who knows what else.
Yeah,
Because I try and keep the flavor of the article.
Yeah, it's not like we pronounce aluminum correctly.
Aluminum. What's that?
Aluminium.
Yes.
Also joining us is Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
My name's Russ Leach. I am a comic book artist from the UK. You can find out all about me at russleach.com. You can go to my Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But sign up for the email list, because there is so much more coming from myself, Randy, Arrow Comics, in the next year and beyond. So sign up for the email list at russleach.com. There you go. You can go there.
I do think it's going to get crazy. Yeah. Also with us today is Allison. Allison, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Allison, the Alley Cat. I am a comic book creator and artist and drawer and all that other fun stuff. I got a show on Fridays, Arting with the Alley Cat. I sometimes appear on Sketchy Saturday with Russ, and working on my current book or manga that I'm setting up for my last Sentinel piece. That going there, and I got some other fun pieces for it. I'm also starting to redo my graphic novel that I lost several years ago. I lost over 100 pages of it, and I'm doing it slowly but surely. It's just not my top priority, but this is from the Books of Shadow, and I've got a couple of pages of it done. It deals with an urban legend around here about a hitchhiking ghost that haunts Route 44.
Nice truck.
Thank you. Everybody loves the truck.
Yeah.
Stands
out when you hold it up. Yeah.
What was that?
It stands out when you hold it up in front of the camera. Yeah. Look at that.
Nice truck.
Looks great. Yeah.
Very
good.
But yeah, so some of the stuff that I'm working on right now. I also do commissions for people's D&D characters and other such portraits. So along with, if you want like Batman or something, I'm more than happy to do it. Or maybe even Krull. No, Cull. Sorry, no, Krull.
Yeah.
Cull.
The Atlantean. Yep.
The Atlantean guy. The guy who predates Conan.
Yeah.
My brother knows far more about than I do. Although I've read the stories. I guess that's good for me.
All right. Also joining us, Mr. Charles Santino. Introduce yourself, Charles.
Why not?
Why
All
not?
right. Yeah, I've been around a while. My character, my boy, is Rammer, Rammur, available on Amazon now. The first issue you see behind me, he's behind me, he's on my head, and he's in my head. And this is the second issue, which has just become available. And what I learned about putting together a cover, my publisher is Marcosia, and you'll see that lettering, Master Thief in a Future Police State, really close to the edge, right? Mm-hmm. I was told that was okay. And somebody showed me a copy they bought, and that lettering was not close to the edge. It was touching the edge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the publisher said, no, well, you were in the safety zone. I was like, well, apparently it wasn't safe enough. So we altered the cover so that lettering is now twice as far from the edge, so that if there are any vagaries in the print on demand process, then we probably won't be any closer than that in the picture that you see. So
Yeah.
it's you think you know a lot, you have a publisher who knows even more, but you're dealing with this in this case Amazon's print on demand system. So in the future, I will never place lettering that close or anything else that close. The safety zone I'm going to consider to be just the beginning of the warning.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm.
safe.
That makes sense. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Rex. Rex, introduce yourself.
Rex Christian. It's good to be here. I'm sorry, I was kind of organizing my comics. Let time slip away from me.
Uh-oh. On a Sunday morning yet.
Creator of Devil Flyer magazine, and yeah, I'm just glad to be here
Awesome. All right.
over on Fun My Comic. Hey, everybody.
Good
All
day.
right.
That's what Sundays are for, isn't it? Organising,
Organizing your comics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to make these adjustments.
I've got a piece of history for you guys.
Oh no.
Get it right.
It's right. It's right because it's me. Last evening, last night, I got 10 hours uninterrupted sleep.
Ooh.
That is
Wow.
historical.
That is history.
Mate, you've been saving it
10
up.
Hey,
hours.
Jonas.
What drugs did you take?
I took the drug of life.
Oh, total exhaustion then.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd had 2 hours sleep in the previous 50 hours.
Yeah, so you're just catching up.
So really, I collapsed. I didn't sleep. I was just unconscious.
Yeah.
But well,
Go ahead.
It's-
What?
I sleep a lot because of MS. I average 10 to 12 hours a night in general. Because I lose my energy so quickly. So it's like, but I remember the days when I suffered severe insomnia, and then the days that you finally sit down and just sleep, and it was the most beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Well, this show must really drain your energy.
Oh, that's putting it mildly.
I'm lucky if I get like 3 or 4 hours sleep at a time.
Oh, I wish I could.
Yeah, I'm
do
at that point too.
Oh, also I nap during the day too. Even after I sleep 10 to 12 hours, I have to take like a 2 to 3 hour nap during the day.
You can nap during
Wow.
this show. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I have.
How dare you?
Oh, that's what he
I,
was waiting for. That's what he was waiting for. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
Thuma
bring it
got
to it here. There we are.
arrested.
How dare you?
There we go.
She just got arrested. It's
Yes, he did.
What?
yeah.
With a smirk on her face too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll be out in an hour.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
No cuffs. They just threw her in the back of a paddy wagon.
Just more publicity.
Nita is probably robotically in the house. As you can support the Indie Comics Network by sending stars. All earnings go towards channel expenses and supporting other creators. So if you feel this program is worth your time, please send us some stars. And you're over on YouTube. Always happy to have them.
Well, we're all here.
HR's in the house. Waves hello. Levi is in the house. Good morning and hello all. Hello. Devil Flyers backstage. Yeah, we knew that. Hi all. Jonas is in the house. Hello, Jonas. Hope you're
Well,
doing well.
sometimes you don't hear the bloop, right?
No, sometimes. All right. Here we
Speaking
go.
of indie comics, if you're unhappy with mainstream comics, and I don't know who could be happy with them, then there's so many alternatives, and this group here is producing some of them. Some of the
many
best
great-
of them, I might add. And
great
let's
alternatives,
mention, for
yeah.
those people who've just tuned in, can we mention the Shadow Kingdom again?
Shadow Kingdom
We
over
should.
on Fun My
Do you wanna
Comic.
see what I'm
dot
doing
com.
Don't
now?
forget Hatch. Hatch is
Yeah,
over
let's
on
see the
Hatch
Shadow.
Annotated is over there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devil
Hey,
Flyer
hey,
is
hey.
over at Fun My Comic. Yeah.
I can show
Do
you
what
something
now?
now. A very, 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 very late change because I just wasn't pleased with the panel. So there you go. There you go.
You know, if you want mainstream
There you go.
comics, get back issues that when comics were really, pretty decent.
And this looks like mainstream when it was good.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
So it's
the
that,
idea.
that change that from there. So that box came down, Randy. So it it left the area in the middle easier to see.
Gotcha.
And
Right.
Yep.
and I am
Yeah.
colors just moved over to the right there.
The
a little bit,
colors
but I
are
just,
the colors are spectacular.
I love
Thank
the
you.
coloring on that. It
Yeah.
definitely feels very old school with it.
It's all
Yeah.
rust.
That,
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it that's what it looks like, and it doesn't just look like I took a crayon to the thing.
Wait, you didn't?
No. But yeah.
God,
So
I
there
thought I
you
saw
go.
some
I
Crayola
just
smudges in there.
You know, in the
didn't
last
like that
days
panel,
of
so-
Charlton, they actually did color guides because I have some of them in crayon for the color guides.
Did you get those on eBay? Because I've seen stuff like that
I
from
did.
Charlton on
I know.
eBay.
Well, yeah and no. You know, I met the guy on eBay, and yeah, basically yes.
Yeah.
I lost a very important, lucrative, what would have been a lucrative job, because the book that went before me into this, let's say this incredibly large retail chain, was colored with magic markers,
Wow.
and you could tell.
Yeah.
And that just kind of shot the plans for the entire line right there.
It's
Boom.
Phil Foglio, when he did Buck Godot, the color versions of them, when you see them, you can definitely tell they were colored with marker.
I've
It's
got a
so
few comics in my collection like that.
Magic
And,
marker on illustration board is great because it'll soak right in and you'll get one real smooth pattern. But I think this was done on Bristol board because you could see every time the marker overlapped the previous
Mhm.
marker. So
Yeah.
somebody doing a wide field, you got all these stripes in it, and you just the minute I opened up that comic, I about cried.
I think it's only fair you let Glenn pitch Hatch or whatever he wants, since I've been spending so much time lavishing praise on Shadow Kingdom. Let's get Glenn back in the round
Yeah.
robin here.
Well,
Get your hatch out, Glenn.
There we go.
he's
your hatch
there.
out.
Let me
Yeah.
show you some of
Open
this.
the hatch.
Let
Open
me
the
show
hatch.
you some of this stuff.
Open the
in this-
hatch.
There we are.
That's where he lives.
There we are.
I think you
Yeah.
can see him. Can you see him there, right on the edge?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Is
Love
that
all
magic
beautiful
markers?
painted art.
It's all
That's
magic.
it.
All done with magic marker. all the lettering's done with magic marker. And this
Is it Crayola?
and this was done by magic marker by my wife Helen.
No, that's some
There you are.
impressive magic marker work.
And there's
That is.
his footprint next to Buzzy's on the moon.
In magic
That's
marker.
That's
There you are.
that's the
I thought we were going to get a discount because it was damaged.
That's the footprint of that guy, which she did the treads on his boots, but we can't.
I love
do
this.
that.
I love that he has a small foot.
Well,
There's two footprints on the back of my
I
book.
I hope you never sell that sculpture, because I don't care how much money you get for it, whatever you get, beyond a few thousand is certainly worth it. But I think you're going to, no matter how much money you get for it, you're going to regret having sold it.
Never
Well,
be worth it. Yeah.
well, you know the
Yep.
story was that we don't want to sell it, so I put it on for 10 grand, and nobody's bought it, surprisingly. But the deal was that I put on the campaign that if anybody bought it, I would actually personally deliver it to their house, anywhere in the world. So, but nobody's
There
took
you
me
are.
up on it yet, and I'm
Now
glad
what-
because it means we get to keep it.
What's the
Yeah.
dimension of that book?
A4.
That
A4.
must be UK. A4. I don't
It's
know.
like
Yeah.
a magazine size.
About
It's-
magazine
okay.
size, yeah.
It's if there's a comic book size, it's that big.
Well, it's
Okay.
big. It's like 10 by 14, something like that, and in
No.
inches.
Do you want me to measure it?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
it's
10,
close.
looks like 10, at
Not
least
10 by 14.
They're on
Uh,
metrics.
Yeah.
It's
No, you're
eight-
right. They're probably
It's
10
eight-
by 12.
This is by 14.
It's at 13
It's eight.
around.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's 8.5
By
by
11.
12. By 12.
Yeah, by 12. Okay.
A4.
Very
A4.
nice, nice size.
297.
Is filling all.
Yeah, 297, 210.
210 millimeters by 297 millimeters.
It's a very nice book. Buy one.
Gene Day did this? Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't
We're
seen
looking-
the book, so this will be great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to have a Gene Day original page from Aztec Ace. I've never seen this book.
I've never seen this. So I'm looking forward to this.
I had a page from Master of Kung Fu that Gene Day, I believe, inked over Mike Zeck.
And
Wow.
it's a hardback. It's a
I foolishly
hardback.
let it go. Yep, it's a hardback. Flying Buttress.
And what year did this come out?
And here's our guy right there, Gene Day.
Oh, there's
He
a drawing
died
is
young.
Yeah, yeah.
very Salvador Dali on the back there.
1979.
That's a beautiful image of a piece of wood. Oh, sorry.
It is. Solid plastic floor mica right
no,
there.
sorry, I thought he'd done it in magic marker. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's had a lot of magic marker on it at one time or another. Absolutely. This is a great book by Gene Day. You can still find it, I think, over on eBay at a relatively inexpensive price, especially for the content. This is all artwork.
I doubt many people even know this book is out there.
No.
I said I had no idea about it. It's a Gene Day book I'm not familiar with, so I'm looking forward to this.
I doubt there's a lot of people out there in comics who even know the name Gene Day.
True.
You know, unless they're a Master Kung Fu fan or Star Wars or Aztec Ace. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Master of Kung Fu. And another huge fan of it was Dave Sims. He was a huge fan of Gene Day. Cites him in a lot of his stuff.
Good friend, actually. And actually, he did a lot of lettering.
Was that signed? Was that signed? It looked like it was originally signed right there.
No, it's just his main signature.
Okay,
it's printed.
All right. I almost got excited there.
Yeah, they did do a limited run of 300, I think.
That owes a lot to Kirby.
300.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That looks like Jack Kirby did it.
I really feel
himself.
like I've seen that image before, and I'm pretty sure I haven't.
Yeah, he definitely has a Kirby vibe to it right there. I mean, it's a beautiful splash page.
I think the majority of these were printed in Canadian fanzines, just as Gene was getting,
interesting to see the letters are by Dave Sim.
To work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little bit of Keith Giffen in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That.
Of course, he had that Kirby vibe early on, like when he was doing Defenders.
So do you reckon he wrote
the
that
story
in white, or was that put out in negative print production?
I reckon, I reckon don't print that. Yeah,
right.
Photographically negatived. Yeah. The story on Keith Giffen when he first got to Marvel, they told him he needed to draw like Jack Kirby.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean, him and Rich Buckler and Barry Windsor Smith, a lot of them were told that.
Oh yeah, all of them were told that.
Did this magnificent run like on Defenders and did a bunch of fill-in issues and all that. And one day he went into the bullpen and John Romita pulled him aside and said, "Hey kid, we love your stuff, but man, you draw too much like Jack Kirby."
Yeah, because Franco got that too.
Which is ironic because when he took over for Ditko, they told him to draw like Ditko.
Yeah.
On Spider-Man.
Romita, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mate. Lizard men.
Lizard men.
Lizard people.
Lizards are people too. No, they're not. They're lizards.
Matthew Moreau's in the house. Very nice. Reverse lettering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great stuff. It's a very fun book.
Oh, now, didn't that have a print run on there? Go back a page. Didn't it say 200 made?
No, there's a limited edition of 300 signed.
300.
Signed and numbered.
Oh, okay.
500.
500?
Yeah.
500.
Yeah. Thought it was, yeah.
Yep.
You could probably still get one of those pretty cheap. I don't know.
I haven't seen them.
Not now.
I've never seen one. Yeah. This says comic book artists have talent, but no time. Newspaper comic artists have creativity, but no room. There's a great new idea for America, and you're holding it in your hands. The graphic album, bigger pages, careful reproduction, quality paper, a clear status of author instead of artist for hire. Give graphic album artists full potential for total development. Compare the artwork in this book with that of a comic book or with that in your newspaper. Come discover us.
I guess this is kind of like the UK albums that are hardbacks.
Yeah, very much so. I believe this was US.
Yeah, because Gene Day did the Star Wars comic strip, if I remember correctly.
Well, it says on the cover, Star Wars artist, Gene Day.
Yeah.
I knew he did. Yeah, I knew he did Star Wars. I think specifically he did the Daily. So yeah.
No, if he did the daily, he wasn't on there for very long
Okay. Thought he
because
did.
that was Russ Manning, and then
Right.
Al Williamson took over after that.
Yeah, I knew Al Williamson was on it later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long have you been collecting comics, Randy?
Since I was a kid.
Oh,
I've had this book since the late 70s, early 80s.
That's
So-
no answer. That's
So,
no answer.
Randy, were you like really sad when all those dinosaurs died?
Yes, very sad.
Wow.
I had my best friend was a Tyrannosaurus.
You turn it around and say, I don't know, were you?
Well,
I'll answer
I
the
saw the
question.
universe begin.
I'll answer
There's
the
a-
question. 1965. That's when I started collecting comics.
Wow. That was the year I was born. In November. Very late.
Probably early 70s I started collecting.
I started reading Fantastic Four with the first issue after the Galactus trilogy.
Okay.
And so that was kind of a holy grail that was mentioned in the letters pages, the first letters pages I was reading. And I was like, what the hell was this? I got to find this. Even a few months after it came out, you could not find those back issues. I was able to find all the way back to issue 37, but 48, 49, 50, you could not find. Just impossible. Even back then.
Was
I've
it
got a-
just
I've got a
that
month.
impactful, huh?
Yeah,
I've got-
there's well, you have to remember that nothing like it had ever come before. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it was just blowing little minds left and right.
Well, Galactus was like Kirby's sort of concept of God somewhat, right?
Yeah,
God
and
like me.
people really glommed onto the Surfer even more than Galactus because they saw Surfer as a continuing character, and Stanley realized it and brought him back as quickly as he could, which was 5 issues later, and then again for 4 issues in a row with Doctor Doom. So the Surfer became a huge hit immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a 5-year period though that he wasn't in anything after a point because Stanley wanted us, if he used him, he wanted him in just not any ordinary story.
And he wanted to write him, but he was spending so little time writing that the Surfer was just sitting on a shelf because of this restriction. And then when he finally brought him back, it was just kind of almost as a standard superhero because his own book had failed so miserably.
Yeah. Almost 2 issues in one there at the beginning. I mean, it was an expensive book for the day, huh?
Yeah.
I'll give you a month and a year. October 1976.
That's when you started collecting.
Good time
the
for
first
good time for comics.
Yeah, first issue of Captain Britain,
I wasn't even 2 months old yet.
and that started me actually buying my own. That was the first time I bought my own comic with my own pocket money.
Now, Russ,
Allowance, as it's called in America.
were you reading Howard the Duck, which I know was available in the UK at that time?
I did buy a couple of Howard the Ducks, and I wish I still had them.
Yeah, because I was in the I was in the UK. I was in London in January of '77, and
Right.
it was strange to see the American comics there that they were identical except for the price.
Yeah.
So the pence price on them.
Yeah.
And, I bought them just because they were, it was so funky to have the exact same comic with a pence price on it.
Yeah. We used to get American imports quite a lot. So, for instance, the Savage Sword of Conan books that I bought, they all had American prices on them. They were imported. Whereas, like, Foom, Mighty World of Marvel, Hulk, Captain Britain, they were like they were Marvel UK.
Well, the
and
pence
like, all had pence on them.
Yeah, the pence stuff that looked just like the Marvel comics was actually printed in the United States.
Yeah.
And shit, they were not printed in England. They were printed in the United States.
Wow.
And some people claim that because the presses were so, low grade
Mm.
that the Pence versions are more desirable because they believe they printed those first, shipped them off. Maybe they did 10 or 20,000, shipped them off, and then put the plate in that had the American price and printed a few 100,000 American
Ah.
copies. So it's believed that the earliest printings of those comics are the British versions.
Well, I've got a strange tale. So before Marvel UK was created, and they were doing basically what you're suggesting there, I've got some with D on instead of pence. So
Yeah, I've seen those. Yep.
Yeah, pre-decimalization. They're quite cool. Yeah.
Mhm. And that
Anyway,
the reason Marvel was so hot in Britain was because they went through and reprinted all of their entire library in black and white about 4 times over.
Yeah.
For the kids on a weekly basis. Everybody
Yeah.
ate them up. Yeah.
That would still work. It would still.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
work.
Well, don't try to tell them that.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It would still work.
Well,
There we go.
I know about when I started collecting. First real comic I got was in February of '84 that I loved. But when I really got into comics was May of 1984 with TMNT #1.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
The February
first-
one was funny though. It was G.I. Joe 21, the silent issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it a good read?
Very. It's an incredible read. Riveting.
I remember buying that too.
Now, was that the month they did silent comics in a lot of their titles?
No,
No,
it was the
only
only
that
it was
one.
the only book that did it.
They were behind on that comic, and so
Yeah.
this is what I'm told. So they
I've heard
didn't-
that story. I have no idea what the truth is. Don't care.
I just thought they used a mute character, so they kept the entire book silent.
Well, they-
I think it should be, unless it's in a complex book like this, where maybe you don't know everything that's going on because you're dealing with ships and interiors and cavemen. I couldn't figure this out without dialogue, but if you can tell the story in the pictures, I think you should, even before you put the dialogue in.
Unlike that issue of Alpha Flight with Snowbird in it, that was Snowbird fighting some monster in a snowstorm. Everything
John
was
Byrne.
all the pages were white. Yeah, that was funny. A lot of people felt cheated. And my first DC comic was Shazam #1.
I doubt he did the
Because they had
lettering,
Captain
so
Marvel.
John Byrne didn't get paid for it.
I don't
For
know.
those pages, did he?
Probably did. As
My
long
first-
after Steranko hung somebody out the window for not saying that, there's no dialogue on
first-
the page, you don't pay a writer.
My first DC comic was the first comic I remember copying out of, and that was Stalker,
Okay.
Oh,
#1. And I
Steve
remember
Ditko.
being very young and copying out of that.
Cool.
Steve Ditko.
And Wally
Steve
Wood,
Ditko,
right?
Wally Wood. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Ditko and Wally Wood, and I later on, I had people mentioning the two of them to me, not understanding that they'd had quite an impact on my work.
Mm-hmm.
That Shazam #1 was highly speculated on, and turned out not to be an expensive comic for decades later.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Till the movie came out.
Well, even then. So anyway.
Yeah, and even then,
Yeah.
it's still affordable.
The really rare one for me, I could never find it around my area, but I was on vacation with my parents because they dragged me along up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. In the back of one of the spiral racks, I found a copy of Howard the Duck #1.
Nice.
And it was like, like finding the grail. There must have been a little halo glow around it and everything when I found it, because it was like, oh, holy crap. Couldn't believe I'd found it.
Raise your hand if you've ever seen a comic book vending machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once. I mean, in real life.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of photos. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was it active or a relic?
No, it was active. It had it had a large brain Flash comic in it. I remember that distinctly. Going, wow, that's really
I
weird.
bought a Hawkman comic on the Pennsylvania Turnpike from a comic book vending machine in 1966.
There you go. Yeah. So when I know it was when I was on the road, because there haven't been any around here. So.
Oh wow, look at that. Look at the
Nice use of spot blacks.
yeah, very nice. And the coming out of the exoskeleton, coming out of his spacesuit, he's all skinny. That's superb.
Now, would this style of artwork sell today? Do you think? I do.
I do.
I'd buy this.
And this is along the lines of, you know, your Crinkle and Reed Crandall
I
and
can see some Alan Davis in there.
those.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say, you could
Yeah,
see
there's
this
some
in
Davis right
2000
there.
AD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can even
very
see
much so.
some, more cartoony like Michael Plug.
Yeah. Yep.
Did he do anything? Did Gene Day do anything for Warren?
I am not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Because
I love the
he'd fit
hatch.
right in there.
I love the hatched trees there on that one panel.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
just a beautiful panel here with the grass knocking out the
Yeah,
border.
you've definitely got 3 layers of. You've got parallax there. Really
Yeah.
good.
It's incredible. You got the landing gear just like in the foreground there too. That just looks great.
Yeah.
I love the detail on it.
And
It
then
actually
the
looks like it can move.
And then the heads of the grasses right in the front, right in the foreground,
Yeah.
where he's left the border off the panel.
Yep.
And let them go into the gutter, and they've got a definite. There's a definite breeze.
Yeah.
Going from left to right. Fantastic stuff.
Leads the eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it really does lead the eye because it's everything's going. You get the flow and you get the real feel of him coming down the gangplank there. So
Yeah. Across the thin lines back here.
Oh look, there's
It's great,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones in the background. Sorry.
and it's at that point the caveman jumps him and eats him.
Takes his
that-
crystal skull.
That's what happens.
That basically is he takes and beats the crap out of
That
Yes, he
third
does, yeah.
panel
Yeah.
on the
Bosh.
first page, that expression on the caveman's face reminded me of something I seen like one of the artists that did like the UK Eagle comics with Judge Dredd or
The Meccan.
I'm not sure
Mekon.
which.
The
No,
Mekon. No.
no, it was the former page. It was the former page.
He's doing the David Bowie here. Bowie
Yeah.
cover.
I don't know too much about Gene Day, and I'm looking at some stuff online. He died in 1982.
Yeah, he died way too young.
Way too
Wow.
young.
Not too long after this.
Yeah.
What a terrible
old was
pity.
he?
Could you imagine?
Born in 51. So he was
God.
31 years old.
Can you imagine
Wow.
how good he could have been? Because he's already great here, but
Yeah.
another 20 years of getting at the desk and honing his craft. Wow.
Did they
you
do they
think
say
that-
in there what he died from? Did he die from a heart attack?
I think it was a heart attack. Yeah.
I think it was.
Damn it.
You think
Way too
that's
early.
fully penciled on the right, that big page?
Oh, I heard something.
I mean, not fully inked, rather, or has it got
That is-
pencil?
Oh no, it's fully inked. It's got a little gray
Okay.
tone to it. In fact, they tried to do some sort of a wash here in this caption box.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
yeah, that didn't
No,
work.
no, it worked. It washed all the lettering out.
Exactly.
Made it hard to read.
Yeah,
Some very fine detail in there.
all in here. This is all fine line work. Yeah. Probably
That must-
rapidograph on all of this.
That must take some time to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give caveman a club and he'll kill you.
Give me.
Especially if you're a lizard man.
Greetings, Earthling. I've come in peace. Wah!
Exactly.
It sounds like a
You
Muppet
killed-
sketch.
Call back to the mothership. Hostile intent.
Wow.
He says, "I come in peace," and the guy says, "No, you come in pieces."
Yeah.
And you go in pieces.
Now there's a story, I guess, in this book called War Games.
Coming up.
Somebody claims that was originally published in a Warren comic or
Okay.
Warren Black and White magazine.
Yeah.
Now the letters change on the right hand here.
Different
That's
letter.
the letterer. Paul McClusker.
Mm-hmm. Instead of Dave Sims.
Oh, he's McCusker. Oh, and he's using a bit more wash in this as well. Slightly different style.
Mhm.
Now I
Look
can,
at that helmet.
Glenn.
Yes.
Now I can see some Brett Ewins.
Yes. Yes. I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
right there, right in that helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, I'm getting an
2000.
education because I don't know a heck of a lot about Gene Day.
No, I didn't know he existed. In all fairness, I never even knew he existed. So
No,
Well, there's a
me
Gene
too.
Day and there's a Dan Day.
Brothers. Yeah. Dan was helping him out there towards the end, especially on Master of Kung Fu.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't think this wash is working. That first artwork was quite
No.
stunning, but I think this is. I don't know whether it's the printing or not, but it's not working for me.
No, I'm sure it's the wash.
If he died in,
It's not working.
maybe it was Dan Day that did Aztec Ace, because that didn't come out to 83 unless Gene did something right before he died on it. I'll have to go back and look.
I think he was working right up to the end.
Yeah.
There was a big kerfluffle in the trade magazines, Comic Journal, and all that over the fact that they thought he worked himself to death.
Yeah,
But-
I found an article online. It says Jim Shooter did not kill Gene Day.
Yeah.
That space in. Sorry, go ahead.
So I was about to say, Glenn. No, I love that progression on
Yeah.
the right hand page. Yeah.
I said before, you could see this in 2000 AD, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Very much
easily. It's
I
beautiful.
don't like
That's what I was alluding to earlier with that one expression on the caveman's face. It reminded me of the UK sort of Eagle AD stuff.
Yeah.
Or it was Eagle Comics over here, and it was Quality Comics reprints of.
Oh
and
yeah,
that,
yeah.
And that was
We try not to mention those Rex because they took the artwork and stretched it up to fit the American comic book size. They were horrible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was my first exposure to like Dave Gibbons, Alan Dave. I mean, in a lot of ways, Brian Ballard. I mean, I'd seen them in other things, but my first exposure to some of those artists could have been in those early ones.
Quality Comics and Eagle Comics both reprinted
If you
2000
look
over
at
here for a short time. Go ahead.
If you look at the lettering on this, it's atrocious. Look at that left-hand page with the guy with the wings. It says, "Our outer wither like grass," instead of "our outer defenses." The spacing is appalling throughout.
The lettering's really not that great, which is sad because it's done by Dave Sims.
It's the kerning. It's just not right.
No, it's not.
And look at where he's put outer. He's got a gap between the T and the E. It's just not good at all.
Could be why the letterer's name is unfamiliar to us.
Yeah.
According to the Grand Database, comics.org, he only did one story for Warren in Creepy number 134, which was a very late issue. The story is The Wreck of the Vendigo Shafter. Is that in this book?
Not that I remember.
Maybe they retitled it for this book.
From what I understand, this is all Canadian fanzine material.
Okay.
That's why Dave Sim did a lot of the lettering on this. Yeah.
But now he had already done some Shang-Chi, right? By this point. In Star Wars.
Would imagine so, yeah.
Definitely Star Wars. Yeah, probably done Shang-Chi, because I think Shang-Chi was 70s, right? That he was doing that?
Right.
I don't know when was this published?
79, wasn't it?
79.
Yeah.
I'd have to go through my Master of Kung Fu's, but
Matthew's in the house. Lots of people draw like Jack Kirby. It says. Yep.
You could do worse.
Gerald Lang, I like the reverse image of the ship landing on the bottom left page. Yeah. Yep. And hello, Eastland. Glad you're here.
Wow. I'm on the comics database.
It's an invaluable resource, and whenever I see people chatting online and they don't know this, they don't know that, or they get something wrong, it's like, the information is at your fingertips.
Yeah.
I grew up in an age where if I wanted to find something out, I I would go to the library and spend a couple hours, and sometimes I wouldn't even find it out.
Yeah.
Today, you just pop online, and there's the information.
Takes all the fun out of it.
I mean, they haven't got it
But-
right. They've got lots. They haven't got anywhere near enough on there, but at least I'm on there. That's great.
Trust Wikipedia.
Oh God. It looks
Yeah.
like Day started. Okay, so his Masters of Kung Fu stuff was in the 1980s.
Okay.
79, he was inking over Mike Zeck.
Uh-huh.
And then he began doing breakdowns with issue 94, which was in 1980, and then 102 to 120, he was penciler. Yeah, after having split the work with Zeck on 100.
I didn't realize his career was so short.
Yeah.
He certainly made an impact.
Well, never mind his career. What about his life?
Yeah.
Yeah, his life was too damn short.
Did you say he passed away at 31?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
died of a coronary crossing the street in his hometown.
Wow.
Yeah, he was 31.
Wow, that's no age.
But oh,
Hell, I didn't reach maturity till 30.
as a
And that's
the
still
rumor.
debatable.
one of my jokes around here when somebody's like, "I'm not a kid. I'm such and such age. Can you run for president of the United States?" And he's like, "No, you're still a kid."
What about Prez, first teen president?
What's this story telling us with the page layout? It's in letters, isn't it?
So
It
they're
is.
all letters. I
Yeah.
didn't catch that till the end.
No.
That was kind of hidden. Wow.
Kind of an O here. You.
Oh yeah,
It's a Q, U.
yeah. That's
It's
Oh,
not
that's a Q.
obvious.
Yeah, it is a Q.
It's not obvious.
no, it's
Wasn't
not obvious
me.
at all.
Queen.
Yeah.
Queen.
Queen.
Yeah.
The name of the
God, it's
story
called
is Hive.
Hive.
Yeah.
It's
I
called
was caught
Hive.
up
Yes.
in the artwork.
Queen.
I never saw
Queen.
Yeah.
it.
And then it's down at the bottom there. Queen.
Sweet.
Yeah, Queen right
United
there.
States. Quadraphonic Universal Energy Environmental Nucleus.
Well, that's to use
And
a
the
UK
U is-
euphemism. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they have nucleus spelled though. There's a huge space between the N and the U.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well,
That's
that's
that letter again.
That's
Yeah.
that. It's consistent with the guy, isn't it?
Yep.
But it's, I like that they've just picked out some vaguely scientific terms.
Yep.
Now on the right hand page, that's lettered by someone else now.
Yeah. Some guy named
Yeah.
Tom or Jakowski.
Well, we'll see how his lettering does. Holds up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
It's
it's looking
better.
better already.
Yeah.
It looks
can
like in
actually
that
read
top
it.
panel on the second page that it's orange up there. Is that just the camera? Yeah, I guess
That's
it gets that
that's-
zipatone or sky.
Triple. No, it's a print over the black. Yeah. Or is it Zipatone? No, you're right. It is a zip screen. back here.
I'm saying on the gray background, it looks
Oh,
a little orange. I guess that's your camera.
I
That's
think
the
it's
it's
yes camera.
yellowing.
Yeah.
It's where it's yellowed. Yeah.
that-
It says here that at the time of his death, he had just left Master of Kung Fu, was preparing to move to DC, where he had been offered Detective Comics.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
that would have been fantastic.
Oh
If you
man.
haven't seen his Master of Kung Fu stuff, get it. It's gorgeous. The way he did
That-
things.
That entire run is beautiful, though. Everybody that was on there and Doug, what's his name? Monch. I always called it Monch. I could be.
I think it's
pronouncing it wrong.
pronounced Mensch.
Mensch.
I think.
Just
Yeah.
phenomenal writing. I remember that whole series real fondly. It's one of my favorite. And up until the last couple of years, they never would kick out an omnibus or a collection of it either, because they were. His dad was Fu Manchu in there.
Yeah, yeah.
They couldn't
Well,
get the rights to it,
supposedly-
and then
supposedly
the Asian
that's-
stereotype thing kicked in.
Supposedly that's why Starlin left the book, because he started on it
Uh-huh.
and did, I think, 2 issues, and then he actually read a Fu Manchu novel and was so appalled that he left the book. This is the rumor.
Yeah. Not
Paul
surprising.
Galassi, Mike Zack, several good artists on that.
Yep. Just very top notch stuff and fun. So every issue had some weird martial arts villain with a strange weapon.
His paneling was so good, though.
Yeah.
He even had one that had a pigtail with a mace on the end of it that he'd swing
Yes.
his head around. And
Yep. I was just going to mention that.
There's an epic collection of Master of Kung Fu.
I'll
Yeah,
have to get it.
up until a couple of years ago, they wouldn't reprint it.
Yeah, basically
There's an omnibus too, up on it, available. I think the hardest thing about using a lot of large spot black areas is trying to align the panels so they blend into each other as larger images instead of individual panels on a page. Gerald says.
Has anybody done a comparison with the omnibus like collections with the originals to see if the coloring is pretty true?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I mean,
Sometimes I think they haphazardly recolor things, and it's
they do,
Yeah.
and it's atrocious. The Red Sonja reprints that they did, where they recolored everything, really ticked me off.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the retracings on the DC archive editions. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh
Some
yeah,
of
that
stuff
was
just-
terrible.
oh my God.
Yes.
Now, whenever I buy an archive, even if it's $10, I look through it first to make sure that the artwork, is at least somewhat readable.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I can't find an epic collection with Day credited on the front. Weird.
All depends on what numbers they reprint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They
Shang-Chi had a good long run.
They'd probably start with the Galassi, the Starlin Galassi stuff anyway. Galassi just kicked ass on it for a couple years, if I remember right.
Mhm.
At least a good year.
He's the artist I most remember
Yeah.
from it.
You
It
can
was
see
my
it.
first exposure.
So
You can see on the lettering where they've not done the reversal quite. The white line around it. Look on the boxes. Any of the boxes that are reversed out, you can see the white line.
Cut line?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah.
You mean for paste up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I used to do when we used to use the Reaper Master camera. Russ knows about those. I think you do too, Randy. What I would, if we reversed lettering and stuck it on a black box, what I would do, what I told my guys to do, was get a felt tip and just run it along the edge, and you wouldn't get that white box. Do you understand what I mean?
That was that. The film was so thick that no matter how you cut it, you'd still end up with a little bit of the material in with it. Yeah.
Drop shadow or something. Yeah.
So, do you think Day was drawing Master of Kung Fu a bit sort of Bruce Lee-ish?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Well, Master
I know
was Bruce Lee in a lot of ways. So.
Yeah, I know Galassi was trying to get there as much as possible.
What I mean is, I'm trying to identify him from, because I don't remember his name. I'm trying to identify if it's the same stuff that I remember buying as a kid.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, hold on a sec.
Shang-Chi.
Well, look at a cover
talking about
cover gallery on the database.
Here you go. Have a look at this.
That looks like Galassi.
Galassi.
No, that looks like Galassi. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure it's Galassi. And yeah, he was aiming for Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure that's Galassi.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Do we know what issue it's from? I guess not.
It looks a bit Steranko-ish, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, that's
because of
that's
the
what
harsh
Galassi
lighting.
was doing initially.
And all those
What
panels.
century we started with? Said 102. Okay.
Oh, he's going to
Oh,
turn the
this is
page.
nice.
Oh, look at there.
Look at that. Oh, he'd have done some great Batman.
Days of Future Past? Really?
Yep.
Well, that predated
Yes,
X-Men,
X-Men.
didn't it?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Funny that.
Oh,
Wasn't that a
it's a
Moody
song.
Blues
So
song? Yeah, it's a Moody Blues song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. that's where Claremont got the idea. I know that. They probably got the same place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Never knew that, and I'm a big blues fan.
Moody Blues.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
it's the Moody Blues. Yeah, it's Days of Future Past, and it's album by the. It's an album name.
I like.
They could
I
make
like
that a movie
the.
poster, and I'd go see it.
I like the approaching asteroid.
Oh, is that what that is?
that's
You're
what that is.
spoiling the story for
It's
me.
the
Thanks,
asteroid
Russ.
slowly coming towards Earth, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
So what's on the first page?
Little
I was
dots.
going to ask Randy,
I'm,
but
I'm
I
looking
thought
what the
I didn't
text
know.
is. So the
My.
text is
It's my
my God
weave.
It's like I love what he's doing here. It's like he's got little messages in the way that the whole panels are put together. The way that
Subliminal.
yeah,
One
well,
nice
not
long
quite
zip
subliminal,
screen
but
here. Yeah.
very clever stuff.
You want me to
Very
turn the
well
page so you
organised.
read the next one?
Yeah, lovely work. My God, we've hit one.
Yeah.
Wham! Look at that.
Very flesh here.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Look, at lovely water. in
Great
there.
water, yeah.
The water's great.
And something very, very geometric has taken off that Tyrannosaurus Rex's head.
Mm-hmm.
Wham!
Oh,
Impressive.
Love it.
But it's like the sound of thunder. Now the entire timeline has changed. Yeah.
Sound effects and getting, since you are dealing with sound, but you're
Sorry. I
a
didn't mean
medium.
to have that pop in like that, but that's Gene
Is this
Day from
Day?
Masters of Kung Fu.
Is this day?
Yep, that's Gene Day, Masters of Kung Fu.
Is it? Wow.
Yep.
Sweet.
That's right from issue 102. It's thumbed through to.
Oh,
find
that
it.
is. Yeah. Such
Oh,
nice stuff, though. That, like I said, that whole line is just great.
Yeah, very fun. My apologies. I didn't mean to have it interrupt like that. My bad. But just his line work is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of hear it, like, the
Yeah.
Bruce Lee kind of sound
Yeah.
effects going.
I always remember him for running around in his pajamas. Gold trimmed red pajamas.
Yep. Those look like they're probably expensive pajamas.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
be
reckon it's
silk.
silk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They flow nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super cool though.
Sweet stuff.
That sound effect there in the centre is like Simonson would do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, the inks on this are on all of his stuff. The inks, rather than the washes or anything, the
Yeah.
inks are incredibly slick.
Yeah, it's almost Joe Sinnott, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Maybe a bit of Bolland. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
very
see
slick inks, very
And the
slick.
thick to thin, the shadow lines here, cross hatching, and that's just great.
Wow, that's a very Rip Hunter or Time Master type
Oh.
It is.
ship.
This is even more like Bolland
Yeah.
on the left there.
Left and the right. I mean, that cockpit thing could have been done by Bolland.
How much have we changed history?
Considering
you thought it was
considering
an
how young-
asteroid,
go
but it was a
Go ahead.
time ship, huh?
considering how young he was at the time and the work here, you can imagine how long it took him to do these pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must have taken him 2 days at least just to ink some of these pages.
He was inking them with felt tips.
It's how much care and love is in it. Yeah, I sincerely doubt that was felt tips.
Well, it depends how big it
Rapidograph,
is.
maybe back here for the thin lines.
Yeah.
Maybe
If it's
rapidograph
the
back.
size of his wall, it could have been a felt tip.
This is one great big large zip screen back here. Light to dark. Nice.
I want to know what happens when they get home, if they've changed history or not.
Yeah.
It's left it hanging.
Yep.
That could easily be the forerunner of the whole Flesh story, like the first test in time back to.
Wouldn't that be about the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that, couldn't it? It could be like a prologue to it.
If you're not familiar with Flesh, folks, it's English story that was in 2000 AD. You need to go look it up. There's a great collection out and available on Amazon. It has to do with a lot of dinosaurs and time travel. I won't spoil it for you, but it's really good.
It's really good. There's giant spiders and everything in it.
I always said they should have turned it into a Snake Plissken movie.
Oh,
would have been great.
Yeah.
I'd see Kurt Russell in that role.
I'd go see that.
Snake.
Yeah, Escape from the Past or whatever.
Snake Plissken.
Exactly.
You go back in time and do something like they're doing, and they come back to present time and the earth is gone. What do you do then?
like the Bradbury story, Sound of Thunder, that they go back in time and they're supposed to stay on a specific platform because if they step off of it, they'll change the timeline.
Yep.
What you do in that situation is wish that you hadn't gotten a vasectomy.
Well, in the Bradbury story, they go back, or before they go back, the world's very progressive and liberal, and they come back and everything's all super conservative. We're not going to let that milk toast make it, that kind of thing.
A better story would be if it didn't change, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't it change?
Like Franklin Richards shouldn't have had a superpower because then he would have been a mutant because he would have been different than his parents.
Yeah. Well, in the Bradbury story, they get back and realize everything's changed, and then they start looking at the dirt on the bottom of their shoes, and they find a butterfly.
Yep.
A butterfly. That's where the butterfly effect trope come from.
Yep.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
Well, the penalty for changing the timeline is assassination. So that's the name of the name of the story is The Sound of Thunder, because that's the last thing that guy hears.
Assassination.
as they shoot him. It's a happy story.
It's a happy-go-lucky story.
Everybody wins in the end.
Yep.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
Gauntlet.
Wow, look at that. Dave Sims back. That's okay.
Yep.
Oh, that explosion. That's fabulous.
Yeah, that is amazing looking.
It's fun.
This guy knew how to draw, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes,
You got the space fighter jets going in.
Very much like Simonson, end of Manhunter. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice gun.
That's what she said.
Yep.
I did not.
How dare you?
I can't quite get my voice that high, so no.
Who did the lettering on this?
Dave
How dare you?
Sims.
Yeah, my voice isn't that
Oh.
girly, so never really was.
Just love the layout.
Detail on that spaceship.
Yeah.
That's
It's all lined
nice.
up.
Yeah.
It has sort of a Sky Master feel to it, doesn't it? Like
Looks like Star Wars to me.
with
Yeah.
Right in that era.
Yeah, but you could take this back to the early '60s with Kirby and Wally Wood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Definitely.
Maybe it's just the helmet, but that they're in a jet. But space. I watched Sky Angel when it was on TV originally. Well, I wouldn't say original. Wow.
Here we
Really
go.
working that lettering in, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now that's very Star Wars, that first panel. Looks like the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon. Choo 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 choo. Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
is.
that is
Yep.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
They probably took that from that, which, they he was
Or the World War II films where Lucas stole it from.
Right. World War II bomber film and stuff, yeah.
Well, a lot of the comics during this period were taken off of those movies. I can't tell you how many Alien stories come out after Alien
Oh yeah.
happened. Yeah, the Brood is a big example of that in X-Men.
That made them aliens. Ooh.
Yeah, that was definitely Aliens ripoff. Everybody knew it at the time.
Yeah,
But it was good. I mean, it was written well and
all the scaling here.
Oh, lovely dragon.
different.
That is.
Yeah, it is
Yeah, Dragon is cool.
very pretty.
What's that? Paper
Paper Dragon.
dragon. Oh, I see. Yeah.
G-O-N.
That dragon looks like the kind of on those Chinese when they're going through the streets with those big puppet things, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, on the sticks, holding it over the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing the dances.
Yeah, it looks like what I'm saying is it looks like a Chinese dragon rather than a dragon.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely looks like an Asian dragon.
Racist. Oh.
I was waiting for that. You never let me down, do you?
Boom.
Could have been
Why-
worse.
Explain to me, why is that racist?
Could have been worse.
That is an observation. Observation is
Could have been Oriental.
So let's leave that one where it is.
See, using that term, I could see where somebody would see racism, but calling
Well,
it
then they're
Asian dragon?
deluded, aren't they? They ought to wake up and grow up.
Absolutely. I agree
That's
with you.
right. Yes,
Bunch of man children and
Racist.
women children.
we're
Racist.
seeing some
Racist.
Racists.
toothbrush stars here.
I had
Yep.
that for breakfast. That was a cereal. Racist.
Toothbrush stars. Oh, processes.
Lots of
Frosted racists.
You think the binding
With-
messes
with
with the
cold
ship
milk.
lines here?
Yeah, it does. It does. And then put in little constellation here.
Mm-hmm.
I like those stars.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, not keen on the ship.
No.
Ship's a little weird looking.
He's got this. He did that on the ship that was coming into, on the Queen thing on
Yeah.
Hive.
Yeah,
And
he
it
did
was-
it a couple times.
It's like
here.
it's basically he's drawn in some big shapes and
Right.
then filled it in with lots of tiny little
Right.
geometric
All it
lines.
is shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I compared to the rest of the stuff he's drawing, it just looks really simplistic.
Yeah.
You know, everything else just looks fabulous, and then that you think, oh, that looks a bit weird.
Mhm.
That was circle.
Basic shapes with a couple of Star Trek boosters on the end of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like they ran into a Borg cube.
Just jumps out at me. That's all.
It's
With
been
the
meshed
amount
with
of
Star Destroyer.
the amount of effort he put into all the little bits on the fascia of it, you'd think maybe it would be easier just to add more geometric shapes and make the ship more interesting.
I got the little complainer in my arms now. Yeah.
And that's me being really picky, and the reason I'm doing that is because the rest of it is so wonderful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
To
Then you
my
have
eye,
just
you know,
weird.
the way that he draws and everything is fantastic. It's lovely, and then these oddly, weirdly
It's-
detailed geometric blocks turn up.
It's like
So-
the ship there. At least I think it's a ship. In this panel where it says evil, that looks
Mm.
better.
Yeah, it does, because It's further away, I suppose. There's less room to create the image.
Basic,
I don't know.
basic lines
Maybe
and sit
just
screen there. Yeah.
maybe just spaceships weren't his thing. You know.
Yeah,
And
it could be too.
Just like Buscema didn't like cars and buildings.
These are two great
You know.
pages here. This is very nice, especially that.
Yeah, that bottom on the right hand side, that bottom 5 panel where it goes
Yeah.
into darkness. That's bloody brilliant.
Mhm.
Looks like wood. Reminds me a lot of Steranko too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
somewhere in
outline book
between the
that he did.
two. Yeah. And the spacesuits are definitely 2001 inspired.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on that, but you're right.
Look at his legs. Very
Stanley Kubrick.
yeah.
This is cool too. Up here, he went through and inked all of this in, and then put a white dot screen over top of it with a graduated tone.
Wow, crazy.
Right there. Yeah,
Almost
And
looks
then-
like a fingerprint.
probably added the white lines here in paint afterwards. That's all. That's white paint here. Down here too, probably.
Those side panels, man, on the first page, right up top, things go off in the distance.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
You almost hear sounds with some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Without it being on the page.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely Star Wars inspired. I mean, that cockbook guide given.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, though. Look, he's got the thumbs up
Mhm.
on one. He's got the thumbs up on one
on the
page and the
left page,
person doing it on the other.
Oh, it's just a continuous panel.
Yeah.
This here looks like a Viper from the old Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Well, you
Kinda
say
does.
you
But that-
say continuous, but it's
Down the
cut
bottom.
off.
Down the bottom,
Yeah,
that
it's-
looks a
it's
little
definitely-
bit like
Got the gutter there, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same panel here.
the
Yeah, that's
spaceship on the
great.
right hand
Mhm.
side looks like one of those no, down the bottom right where the wings have dropped. That
Mhm.
looks like a Star Wars model. That
Yeah,
looks
it
like
does.
the Star Wars
The shuttle.
the original shuttle that Darth
Yeah.
Vader turned up in
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Except it's got a dorsal fin on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he needs for these spaceships is a French curve rather than a ruler.
Although these are far more interesting than the one he showed on the other page.
Yeah.
Because they're not just basic geometric shapes shoved together. They've got some form and some mechanics to them, and so they've kind of got more of a substantial feel. I mean, especially that one, yeah.
Sure does.
Gerald says, reminds me of the Doug McClure sci-fi fantasy World War I period films with dinosaurs and submarines and hidden islands of the early mid 70s. Yes.
The
Land before time. Yeah, or land that time forgot. Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
the one, yeah.
Yep, that's a one.
Hi,
That
I'm
ship-
Doug McClure. You may also know me from other films such as The Time That Land Forgot.
That ship lower right, the head on it. Yeah, that reminds me of the walkers in Empire. Just
that too,
just that little part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the tread on his boot. It's like it's got such a slinky costume on that the tread is just embedded into the costume.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no soul.
That's
No.
harsh. Oh, wow.
games.
There you go. Pew, pew.
Shall we play a game? Very stylized on the lettering throughout on the
Yeah.
titles.
And this ship looks so much better because there's like stuff there and doing things. I like
You've got
that.
a lot harder perspective here too.
Yeah.
Judge it back. Yeah. Very Star Wars.
Ooh, dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. More
Do the Kessel Run.
stars here. Looks like he's got a slight screen over some of it. Yeah,
He signed it.
tone it back a little. Yeah, he did. Where
Oh, he
was it?
signed both. He signed
it's
both
both
pages, I
letters.
guess.
Here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reminds me of the video games at the time,
Yeah.
like Asteroids.
And Zaxxon. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Zaxxon. That had a very much like a look like this, but it was supposed to kind of do like the trench run type of feel. So.
I guess even the titles sort of arcade like, huh?
Yeah,
Mhm.
they are.
Same font as the start of the book here.
Mhm.
Future Day. I wonder if that's a
The beau-
reference to his name.
I
Yeah.
bet it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all
Probably.
science fiction stories by Gene Day. Yeah.
Future Day.
Future Day.
Now it all comes together.
Morning, Shadow Hawk. Morning to
Hey, Shadow.
everybody. And Apex says Zaxxon. Yeah.
Zaxxon.
Hey, Apex.
Zax on, Zax off.
Oh, got that
I
right.
love that stupid game. I sucked at it, but I love that stupid game.
Oh, look at that. Just a progression here.
Oh, yeah. Sweeping. Yeah.
Cool.
It's gonna blow. Yeah, the gunner positions and all that where they're shooting. This just looks great.
Only impacted on the surface.
I wish most new comics had as much thought put in them as this.
That would require thought.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
Don't.
good morning, Apex.
I need a donut.
morning, Apex. They're in the back of the hall.
Yeah,
They're
Like I
probably
said,
a little stale though.
be careful of that jam.
That's
I
fine.
think
As
they
long
were
as I
brought
don't
in
chip a
yesterday.
tooth. I'm good up to 3 or 4 days.
Oh, that's great the way he's jumping out of the panel.
Try the nutty. Yeah. Here,
Yeah, the left-hand side bottom. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
just fun.
I'll just leap over this side panel.
And I do like the lettering.
You can tell this was meant to be in black and white. They know how to use a zip screen in order to pull and push stuff back and forth. Just great. It's such a great era during this time with black and white comics. You know, and so few people saw them, like Power Comics and just
I
the
think-
little independent stuff off of the undergrounds.
I think if you brought it back, it would be a success today.
Star Reach Productions did a lot
Mhm.
of stuff like this. Ken Stacy, I want to say, did some.
It was the
phenomenal
gray
work
toning
during
that
period.
made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stick out to me.
That's
Yeah.
a dual shade board
Yeah.
at work there too. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
I think
stuff.
his figure work is better than his mechanical stuff, because look at that cannon on the top of that right page. It's awful, isn't it?
Top of the right. Yeah, the cannon doesn't look that great. I like the shot, but I don't like the cannon.
This is
Yeah.
some of the rawest stuff I've seen him do, actually.
Hey, Randy, where's the duo shade you're seeing?
No, there's no duo shade in this.
Oh, it's not on here. We were talking about turtles. Dual shade
Oh,
board.
okay. I was gonna,
Yeah.
So say,
No, this is all zip screen here. This is
Yeah,
all just
yeah.
one solid, great dot pattern. So much more reliable when you know how to use it. You know,
Yeah.
just lay it down and cut out what you don't need and peel it off.
I mean, the duotone stuff, I think they were getting because it was cheaper, but yeah.
Back
Well, that's
then, yeah,
that's
there
what
was an
it-
abundance of it.
yeah, that's what it really made it stand out from all the other black and white
Yeah, it
comics
really
coming out at the
did.
time.
That's back before they figured out those chemicals were cancerous too. So
Yeah,
Yep.
you know who loved the duo shade and did a lot of his best work with it was Joe Staten.
yeah.
Yeah,
On
not
anything come to mind?
Family Man, which is a graphic novel,
Okay.
and some of the Michael Mauser stuff, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there was some other stuff maybe for Warren, I can't remember, but he used it a lot in the early 90s until he ran out of it and couldn't get any
Mhm.
more.
Yeah. I know Andrew Peaboy. We used to print his Simone and Ajax. He was really up on duo shade board.
A friend of
Did quite a
Joe's.
lot of that. Yeah, friend of Joe's.
I guess you could mimic that same thing in the computer now.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of clicks. It's so flat. Just
Yeah.
flat down. So much else going on.
Yeah, the perspective on that is not quite working. I think it's the totally gray background that even tone, it's not giving you the depth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the guys falling, but everything else just doesn't look right.
If
Yeah.
it would have went from like, had a dark center radiating out or something, that would have even helped,
If the
Maybe,
if
yeah.
the lines of the background of the floor were a slightly different angle
Yeah.
to the
Yep.
lines
Yeah.
of
Lines
the
of the ship here.
planes,
Yep.
it would have made a big difference.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so.
completely.
Or if they were falling into something that was basically a giant hole that could give you the perspective.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
That
it
would
radiated
work.
out.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
really work.
But
Yep.
but again, if those, instead of those lines on the texture on the flat of the ship below
Mhm.
were in some way three-dimensionalized, so that
Yeah.
there was some more perspective on them, you'd
Even
you'd
just
get
slightly
that
askew
effect.
to the
And
lines
also
that
if
you've
it
got
was
here.
skewed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because it's so flat, like I say, it's difficult to work out quite what's going on.
I think he
Nice.
was.
Nice hand. Nice
I
body.
think he was trying to put a lot of Star Wars reference in this.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure he was. Yeah.
Yeah. I
To
mean,
help
yeah, I mean
sell the book.
that's going over the top of the trench, isn't it? It's,
if I had seen this,
Is that Power Comics from the 80s or the current Power Comics? I think there's somebody else doing Power Comics right now. The old Cobalt Blue with Mike Gustovich.
that's
Great
not
stuff.
what this is. No.
That Apex is talking about.
Power Comics.
Power Comics. Yeah.
This is.
Comics of Power.
I would have bought this back in the day if I'd seen it, though. Probably.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the top view here.
I'm probably gonna go looking for it on eBay.
Oh, that rack.
Yeah, I got a copy of Power Comics here in the rack. I'm doing it right now. I know it's here. Take me a minute to find it. Batman the Human Flying Saucer. I got that.
Do you remember? Oh, what was the name of that Glenn with Kevin O'Neill?
There it is. No.
Nemesis.
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 Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the and they would have like that panel on the bottom left there. That kind of reminds me of some of the stuff that he was drawing in there with
Yeah, I know what you
massive
mean.
guns and oddly armored people.
Down
Yeah.
here.
There's a lot of straight lines like in
Yeah,
Kevin O'Neill's work.
love Kevin O'Neill's work.
Yeah,
we need to-
Yes.
We probably
need to look
do
at that
Kevin
stuff, too.
O'Neill. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
Yeah. So he did
That
some
and-
great ABC Warriors stuff as
Yeah.
well.
That's
Yeah.
that's the old Power Comics.
That's it. I bought a copy of that last year.
I think she's
Sturdy
broken
girl.
her arm, bless her.
Sturdy girl.
The lizard was on the cover, though, was a little goofy with his tongue hanging out.
goofy.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit goofy, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
Land That Time Forgot, the
Yeah.
Disney.
That has a
cartoon.
wraparound cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Wraparound cover.
Hey, Randy, I just sent everybody a duotone page from Family Man in the Facebook messaging.
That's what the message
Okay.
was.
Yeah, it's shot from an original, so the duotone has
Oh,
started
yeah.
to turn brown, but it still
Yep.
looks phenomenal. If
Yeah.
you want to share that.
Yeah,
Oh,
let me
wow.
pull that through here.
Look at that.
Share screen. Not the Shadow Kingdom.
Now,
Where
Family
is it?
Man was published as a 3-issue mini paperback series by DC, but then it was reprinted in a hardcover recently, and that's what that's from.
Careful, Randy.
Because it was shot from the original art.
In the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Jump
So
back
if you also he did
Take a look at that. Yeah.
what's the female character Joe Staton did that he created for
Nova?
DC?
Oh,
No.
no.
It's
Huntress.
like this.
Huntress, yeah. The Huntress series I think was duotone as well. But this Family Man, it's a straight crime drama, and it's available in a
Brilliant.
hardcover. Highly recommended.
Never
It's all-
heard of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all
Mike
duo.
McMahon, Glenn
Yeah.
McMahon. I can never get that
Mahan?
right.
McMahon?
No.
No?
I think it's McMahon or McMahon, one of the two.
Right.
Yeah, this is some of Joe Staton's best work.
Bit
And-
on
I
Friends.
enjoyed it.
Horrible.
The
Really love the
lettering's
uniqueness
nice.
of the lettering here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Love it.
gorgeous. The whole thing. It's
I
beautiful.
like the
I had
like the
Joe
O's here.
Staton draw me a Clark Kent.
So nice.
And I told him I was very young when I met him, and I said, because you draw people, I think you draw people better than you do superheroes, because all the superheroes looked a little thin and not too beefy to me.
Oh,
He drew a whole graphic novel for me. We adapted Ayn Rand's science fiction novel, Anthem.
you did that?
Ah,
Yeah, that
That's
was
awesome.
Yeah,
He's a
thank
great
you.
guy.
That was published by Penguin.
I got a copy of that. Yeah.
I
He did it,
remember.
and we shot from his pencils on that, and he did
Yeah.
really tight pencils, and every page was the same 3 horizontal panels. Every page.
Yeah. That's a nice book.
Thank you.
I
Yeah, it
like
was one of the first things I did in phase 2 of my career.
I liked his Charlton stuff, and he also did the Bionic Man and E-Man and Space 1999. Yeah,
Staten to me though is All-Star Comics, the Justice Society work that Leighton
Yeah.
went over and inked on him. I thought was just amazing. That and E-Man from Charlton.
He
Just
did 10 years on the Dick
beautiful.
Tracy strip.
That too, yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
I
That's
could see that.
Fantastic. We'll have to look at some of his stuff here soon.
I'd love to do 10 years on a strip.
Great stuff. Yeah. That tight.
Yeah, Dick Tracy was only in about 25 papers, but it was one of his best paying assignments.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get you a pole, Russ.
Get me a what?
A pole.
A
Where
pole.
you're stripped
Sure, he-
at. You're stripped at.
Didn't that have that worldwide? He had more than 25 papers, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh man.
And as far as print papers,
Yeah.
only 25.
Wow, that's not good.
Used to have what, 600 or something?
At least probably closer to 9 to 1,000.
That last panel looks like Wonder Woman with the bracelet. Up close.
Yeah.
The start of another story. Dave Sim. Oh no, that's the end of the story.
And
Yeah.
look at that. The lightness of touch
the
in the shadow on the hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of. It's somewhere between Dave Gibbons and Brian Bolland. There's this hardness. There's this graphic effects that he's doing.
I
in
was
metal
thinking
there.
Paul Smith.
And then
Mhm.
and then this sort of light touch of shading in the hand. Very good.
That bracelet really screams Wonder Woman, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
Does.
It's thin line work up here. It's the guy's being disintegrated.
They should do a spoof and just have a character go through all the stories yelling, "Where's Vader? Where's Vader?"
No disintegration.
No disintegration. Yes. See that spaceship, like you say, Russ, it's just a bunch of shapes, very simple.
Yeah.
Looks like a moose.
Yeah.
Moose.
Moose. Hey, Rocky. Yeah. One more. Black Legion.
Moose and squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
Yes, he's doing it again.
Boris
Or your
and
little detail
Natasha.
there.
Yeah. He's
A little bit more
making
prose in this one. Yeah.
shapes with really
They don't work.
thick
Doesn't work,
lines.
does it?
No.
Nice.
It's horrible.
Yeah, not
And
good.
that just looks like it's typed.
Yeah, I also think that the thick outline as well doesn't work.
No.
It's
No.
that thick outline,
It's like a
and then
cutout.
all this, and then all this stuff put on it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work. And what happens is, because the rest of his work is so spectacular in places,
Yeah.
it kind of jumps out. So all the
Mhm.
spaceships have jumped out as being a bit weird looking, when
Yeah.
everything else is looking beautiful.
Yep.
Like I say, Buscema didn't like drawing cars and buildings, so maybe he just didn't like drawing spaceships. I don't know.
Well, he's writing it. He should have done it in Western times or something. They shouldn't.
Well, there's
Apex
no
says, go ahead. Sorry, Rex, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say there's no clear lighting on that. I mean, it's
It's
No.
odd. Yeah.
Apex Comics says Richard Roundtree in Black Legion.
Lighting's a weird one for comic books. I saw a picture the other day. I can't remember what it was from, but it was Bernie Wrightson, and he lit the scene from the left, and then he had a character in the middle, and in order for this character to be prominent from the black behind the character, he cheated with the light source and put a second light source in and put it over the top of him.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter because the piece was just so damn cool and looked so great that, without actually analysing it and saying, where did that light source come from? It didn't matter. So I think it's much like anatomy and scene building and what have you. It's knowing the rules and then breaking them to make it really cool and make it work. You don't have to be specific about things once you understand them. But
comic book logic.
yeah,
There
but
you are.
unfortunately these spaceships just aren't working on any level for me.
No, they're not really working for me either.
Looks like he's pulled bits and pieces from different things. There's a silhouette back here could almost be Thunderbird
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
This looks like a tower at an
It's just-
airport.
The thing is that they just look
Okay.
like cardboard cut out shapes with,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
somebody drawing the tech on the outside of the shape, on the outside of the cardboard. That's what they come across as, which is really unfortunate. Like when I say this is all done with the greatest of respect, because the rest of the work is just so brilliant.
It's also I'm looking at the typography, and if you look at the top, the third paragraph, look at the break. Three words on.
This
that-
looks like
that's
it's done
not
on a
good.
typewriter, though, doesn't it? It's
Yeah. This was saying it looks like it was typed.
It's back then they ran the type out in strips anyway, and you just paste.
Well, they
paste.
didn't-
It's not been typed because
No.
the type wouldn't put those hyphens in.
Also
typewriters-
that's Times Roman.
Yeah.
That's an actual typeface. Yeah.
Typewriters didn't have lowercase either, did they?
No.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, they
did.
did.
They did. But this looks like a really early type machine, font machine.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's been-
probably exactly
it's
what
been
it was. Yeah.
split
But it's
out
got the-
it's
It's
been
got the auto
justified.
hyphen on.
Yeah, it's been justified badly because obviously it's an early machine, and then spat out in gutters, in
Galleys.
chunks, galley.
Galley.
That's
Yeah,
it, in
galleys.
galley, and just laid down on the page.
Yeah, and the kerning definitely just sucks. Yeah.
They
With
call
some
it a
wax, Glenn.
pediograph, like a copy.
Yeah, that's right. Get the wax out.
Get the
wax
wax out.
Can't beat a bit of wax in.
Yeah.
Now, this is
Aliens are
great.
great, though.
This
I
looks
like
Alan
Alien.
Davis again.
Yes,
This is
yes.
beautiful. Yeah.
Those aliens, yeah.
Sure does.
But the spaceships.
Oh, you and your Alan
Awful.
Davis.
Another thing is all the traces from. It doesn't work. There's too many.
Although they are blowing it up.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the traces in between. Was it in the? I know this is spaceships, but in the military, I think it's a tracer every 4 or 5 rounds when they fire a tracer.
Was DR and Quinch Alan Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, because it's kind of reminded me of those aliens from that.
Yeah,
It does.
Like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
They
More
started
great
like
stuff to look at. Yeah.
tracing bullets in World War One.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
every other round would have, or so many rounds would
It's
have.
not every other round. It's every 5.
Is it every 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Since it is April, maybe that's what we'll look at next week. Next Sunday's
What?
DR and Quinch.
Yeah.
Now, aren't we going to pre-record that one?
Yes, we are. Probably Wednesday. But that's only because I'll be at the Grand Rapids Con that takes place in Kalamazoo next weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the con next weekend too. The New Hampshire Smallest Comic Con.
There you are. New Hampshire Smalls Comic Con.
No, smallest.
Oh, smallest.
I think it's called
New Hampshire
either Little
Small.
Giant or something. It's like
It's
New
incred-
Hampshire Smallest Comic Con or something.
It's
Yeah.
a whole
Incredibly miniature.
convention for underwear.
Yep.
The whole thing.
Amazing.
The whole thing takes place in a 10x10 space. Come on
Yeah.
in.
Come
really-
on in. A lot of text, a lot of reading.
Huh. Was it Little Giant?
Wears me out. Just look at it.
More toothbrush stars here. Yeah. Let's stick a fin on it. Stick another fin on it. Stick another fin on it. Yeah. Fin.
We love fins.
Love fins.
Kind of
That's
like
way
pouches of the 90s.
There you
Better than
are.
Those hideous Swedes.
Little Giant Comics, old school comic show.
Okay.
That's what I'll be at.
That's the best comic shows. Old
Yeah, like
school.
Franco's going to
stars.
be there. Mark Bagley, Jim Shooter, Dave Michelin, Al Milgrom.
Snap. So nobody of note.
No one. God, no one.
Won't be that small.
Except for
Yeah.
me.
Well, we're
I'll
not
be-
there.
In Kalamazoo, I'll be moderating a panel with Howard Mackey.
You had me at Storenko. I was like, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
go.
There you are. They put this story in the back for a reason. Look at that. They've still got a little bit of story to go. Let's put it over on the next page.
The end.
And yep. As the
Nice
spaceship
progression.
slowly sinks into the west. Yeah.
Well, that was good.
Special polar bear section here.
Yeah. Polar bears
Yeah.
on the ice,
Visit Antarctic. Yep.
smoking pot. Yep.
What's all this on the back, though? You got like Salvador Dali, maybe Bach there? Or Beethoven?
What
They're
is a graphic
explaining-
album?
Yeah, they're explaining what a graphic album is.
Uh,
The first thing the guy says, a pornograph record.
Look at, that,
Pornographic
look, at
record.
the, look at the flares she's wearing.
Yeah. Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
What?
How hip.
is that what you called bell bottoms over there? Flares?
You know,
Well, no, we had bell bottoms as well. There's flares and there's flares,
Bell-
isn't there?
bell bottoms are different.
Bell bottoms are just spread out at the bottom, aren't they?
Yeah.
And tighter
Yeah,
on top.
the-
Yeah.
I mean, one of the types of jeans I wear has a flare to it at the bottom, so.
Yeah, but there's flares and there's flares. There's
Oh, yes.
70s
Yes,
flares,
there is. There's a 70 flare, which mine definitely aren't, but those
Which
are
you
more-
could be taken away in a strong breeze.
Yes. Yes, you could.
Those were
So-
elephant pants.
When
Yeah.
when I was at college, I used to everybody wore flares and nobody had any feet.
Mm, yeah.
And when it was wet, when it rained, it always went up to your knees. So it was all slapping cold on your legs and wet through all day.
Yeah.
And then when you went home again, it was still raining and you got wet again. But they were great. Used to go to the clubs and you'd see all the guys against the wall, clocking all the girls dancing around the handbags, and nobody had any feet.
No.
So that's okay. Timothy Olsen was on my panel.
To draw.
Wondered where you were, Rex.
I was sleeping.
It's an unexpected opportunity to shill. LOL. Just call me the Shillinator. Shillanter. I'll be back. That's right. Timothy Olsen, shill to exceed and survive. By any means necessary. Someone might take you up on the Shillinator idea. Yeah. And so 2 blank pages? No. Polar bears in a snowstorm.
Polar bears in a snowstorm.
Yeah. It's a great Gene Day here. And at the time, the book was, you can see that price up there.
$4.95.
$4.95.
Yeah. Well, anybody who knows about print on demand knows about blank pages, because when I got the first issue of Rammer, I noticed there were 3 or 4 blank pages in the back. So I asked the publisher, Harry Marcosia, I said, next issue, can I put some more pages? Can I fill those blank pages? He said you could, but there'll still be more blank pages.
Yeah.
He said it's just the weird way that print on demand works.
It's weird because it's the same. I had I obviously printed my own Only Death Can Save Us, but then when it went to the publisher, New Haven, there were 2 blank pages in the back.
Yeah.
And you can't get rid of them.
No,
it's very odd.
How strange.
It's, sketch pages for an artist to work on.
Yeah, you can sign it, but
what a bargain in 1978. Yeah, it was. Future day, folks.
I wish we had more hardback. I wish we had more hardbacks like the UK does, with the albums.
Yeah, the album format is great.
It's really sweet.
That's not. I wouldn't say it's a UK centric thing though.
No, it's a Euro centric thing.
Euro, yeah. The trouble with the UK comic book market always has been that and with art in general, they don't know where they sit. We're either the 51st state or we're part of Europe. No one can ever have, but back in the day, in the 50s, we, like with TV 21 and all that kind of stuff in the 60s, we had our own identity. Mm-hmm. Like Eagle had its own, we had our own identity, but as we slipped into more and more superhero stuff, we lost that. There's a lot of snobbishness about art in this country as well. So we kind of haven't joined in as much with the vibrant European comic book scene, and we haven't been taken as seriously as maybe the comic books of the US because of the amount of money that used to be involved in that industry.
I've had this very same conversation with Harry Marcos, who agrees 100% with what you're saying. Yeah. You think of Great Britain as part of Europe, and they are, but culturally, it seems like the differences are becoming greater.
Yeah, and it's really quite annoying to be honest, because it means that actually from a British artist, British creator's perspective, it's difficult to find your way out. It's, getting a route to market is really quite awkward.
I really wish we had the 2000 AD format over here on a weekly basis. That would have been killer.
Yeah.
I love that stuff when almost like the National Enquirer newsprint look over here.
So uniquely
beautiful.
British, though.
I guess the closest we had to that was maybe the Spirit that was shoved into the newspapers back in the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Japan,
the original Marvel graphic novels, Death of Captain Marvel and a few others in the early 80s, they were basically in the album format.
Yeah, they were in that format. Yep. But there were a couple of newspapers that took their Sunday strips and bound them into comics on Sunday, just to have that little extra book that would fall out of the Sunday paper. Just throw it at the kids. Here's your comic. Yeah.
There's more black and white hardback goodness on the way from
Yes.
Arrow and Critical Blast, because you will be able to see the Shadow Kingdom in black and white. But for the moment, get yourself your nice, inexpensive color copy from Fun My Comic. There you go.
Let's go Eurocentric.
We'll talk about the Shillinator. I'm there.
Shillinator. There we are. Folks, we've been looking at Future Day from Flying Buttress, the artwork of Gene Day. The great science fiction stuff. If you want to see more Gene Day, look at Master of Kung Fu or Star Wars. Enjoy.
Gene Day on a Sunday.
Gene Day on a Sunday. Yep.
Hooray.
Really glad
Hollywood.
you're here. Hit that like button. Let us know any type of interaction with the platform you're on always helps our algorithms. So go
One of
in
the
there
really great
please
losses to comics. I mean, dying at 31.
and- yeah.
That
He
really
was
sucked.
really good. Although this doesn't reflect some of his best work architecturally with the ships and stuff.
But I think, could you imagine what he would have done in the following 20 years? I mean, the fact that he was offered that job at
Detective Comics.
that would have
that's
would have
major.
changed the history, wouldn't it? It would change.
It would have.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would
was-
say this is a poor example of his work. I mean, really, if you've ever seen any Gene Day stuff in regular comics, it's heads above this, I think, in a way.
Well, it's one of the fun things about doing short stories is you don't have to maintain that level except for through those short amount of pages. Then you go on to the next story. You can be at a different place, or we're not sure exactly when he did all of this artwork. There's
Yeah.
rough copyright dates on it. But
Well,
that
like
could
you
have been
said, fanzine stuff.
early
that may have
fanzine stuff.
been
Yeah.
early 70s or something when he did
Yeah.
that.
wouldn't surprise me at all. Especially, Dave Sims in there lettering, and he went on to do Cerebus about at this time for many years.
Looking at this, I find it hard to believe that it's Gene Day because I've not seen his stuff look so crude. Actually,
So when
Yeah.
did he leave us?
82?
82.
83.
Yeah.
So who was doing Batman in 82, 83, Detective Comics in 83?
ooh, good
Good
question.
question.
Was it Neil Adams?
Was
Was
it
he
Neil
still-
No.
Adams?
No,
It was late
no.
70s,
Neil
wasn't
was long gone from
Yeah.
then.
he? Yeah.
And Archie had left in the mid 70s.
Was it
Well, let's see if we can figure this
So,
out. Detective
Aparo.
Comics, 1983. Here we go. Let's see.
It's
Maybe
pre-Brayfogle.
Gene Colan, maybe.
I was about to say, was it Aparo? Was it Aparo or?
Aparo was doing Brave and the Bold. Well, he did some Batman stuff during that period. I don't know if it was in Batman. or Detective.
Hey, here's a Hannigan Giordano cover from that year.
Ed
Here we
Hannigan?
go. Gene Colan. Gene
Colan.
Colan.
Wow.
February
Nailed it.
1983.
Yeah.
Wow.
Detective
Wow.
Comics.
Wow.
I know that's about when Aparo inherited Brave and the Bold and had a really great long run on
Yeah.
more just phenomenal stuff. Levi says, incredible work and a brilliant discussion from you all this morning. Thanks for the show. Thanks for being here, Levi. We appreciate you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Levi.
And like I said, you might be able to find copies of this available over on eBay if you're interested in getting a
Hey,
hard
here's
copy of it.
here's Irv Novick on the previous issue.
Yes,
of
that's it.
Detec-
And
of Detective.
Don Newton. Don Newton
Inked
was
by-
around in
inked
that
by
time too.
Pablo Marcos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don Newton might have been. Was he a little later than this?
maybe.
He was.
Yeah.
He and Amber Fogel.
Brayfogle came on after.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Here's Don Newton. Couple issues previous. Don Newton inked by Alcala.
Mm-hmm.
Brayfogle wasn't
Yes.
until the 90s, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He had a very long run on Detective Comics. Very,
Yeah,
very
I
good run.
remember buying that in my 20s, but picking up those books.
Yeah, another great talent.
Don Newton. And here's Gene
Also,
Colan
yeah,
again.
Hello,
Don Newton,
Farrell.
another great
Hello,
talent that
Carlos.
left too soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Norm. Yeah, he
Hey,
had
Carlos.
a stroke, didn't he? First.
Brayfogle.
Yeah, Didn't he lose one side or something? I'm
He
sure
died
he had a
in
stroke.
Yeah,
He died in poverty. I know that.
yeah. He died of pneumonia. He lived up in Ypsilanti, up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Or not Ypsilanti, sorry, Escanaba, up there.
No need to cuss, Randy.
That's exactly.
Oh, Don Newton had a little bit of a run here, but this was before Gene Colan.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Yeah.
He had a nice run.
And
Imagine
Kurt
that.
Swan did some issues.
I
as
wonder
well.
if Don Newton got that
Not very many.
assignment because Gene Day died.
I don't
But
know.
that's
He
what
might
you
have.
got to wonder, isn't it? That's what I was asking. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
If I remember right, Newton was a health nut, and they figured he died from drinking the wrong milk that hadn't been homogenized.
Oh yeah, yes, I heard that.
Is what they
Good
figured he
Lord.
died from.
And
Yeah.
going back a little further, here's Gene
He was
again, inked by
Drinking
Klaus
goat milk. I
Janson.
remember. Yeah.
But that
goat
was a
milk.
fill-in because then previous issue Don again. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that Gene's unfortunate early demise might have gotten this assignment for Don Newton.
I think Irv Norvik was on a lot of that material too. He
Yeah.
was doing a lot of Batman family stuff at that point.
At that time,
think-
they were flipping back and forth, with story like the Killer Croc,
Uh-huh.
story when they were first mysteriously introducing him because he wore a big trench coat and cap, and then that was a big reveal that he was a big lizard guy after several issues. But they would flip the story back and forth between Detective Comics and Batman, and then back again. Yeah,
Yep.
and I know Kurt Swan drew one of the titles at the time, and probably Newton the other. I can't remember.
Now, if DC had the rights to Cull, they would have tied all that together.
Yeah.
Shadow
Dan
Kingdom
Jurgens,
the Shadow Kingdom Lizard Men and Killer Croc.
Dan Jurgens did one issue, and it was brilliant. And when I met him for the first time, I said, "You should do some more Batman." Of course, he went out and do a lot of Superman, but never got back on Batman. But his Batman was awesome.
Yeah. Again, we want to thank everybody for stopping by today. We know the majority of our viewers are after the fact. We appreciate you very much as well. So don't be afraid to leave a note, comment, or a like whichever platform you find us on. We are on multiple platforms: Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, but most especially over at the Indie Comics Network on all of their platforms, or at least most of them. So go over there and let them know if there's any particular work that you would like to see us go through. Make sure you let us know. Put that in the comments as well. We'd be more than happy to try to accommodate you as much as we can. So, Rex, tell folks how they can find you.
Your collection holds out, right? Because you're showing stuff that you have on hand out of your collection, right?
Well, yeah, that's how this started, but we can always find stuff. So
yeah.
And between us all, somebody's got a copy of it. So there we are.
That's probably true.
You can
Rex,
find me
tell
on
people how they can find
YouTube,
you.
on Instagram, on Facebook under Rex Christian, and project over there on Fund My Comic, Devil Flyer. Check it out. Magazine size.
Cool.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Allison, tell folks where they can find you.
You can find me right here on the Indie Comics Network, where I eventually comb my hair, and Fridays with Arting with the Alley Cat. You can also usually try to find me here on Sundays when I wake up in time, and occasionally on Sketchy Saturdays when I join the crew there and do drawings and stuff. And I'm on most of the social media things. I avoid the porno one, X or whatever it's called, but other than that,
Twittix.
other than that, I'm around.
Yeah.
Alley Cat Comics or Allison McClone. That's good.
Great. Charles, tell folks how they can find you.
They can find me by looking. They can go onto Facebook. They can go onto X. They can go onto Instagram, put my name in, put in Rammur, Rammur, and they will find me all over the place. posting as frequently as I can, and being exceedingly non-controversial. Behind me, you see the first issue of Rammer. You can find that on Amazon. The second issue is right with it, and it looks like that. And the third issue is well underway. So go get that stuff and then tell me how much you loved it. Thank you.
Russ, tell folks how they
Yes.
can find you.
I'm here. Yeah.
You're there.
You can find me at russleach.com. You can find the Shadow Kingdom only on funmycomic.com right at the moment. We've got 7 days left. We've got 182 backers. Thank you, everybody, for backing. It's wonderful. But it'd be really great if we could get to 200. If you don't have the money right now, don't worry. I can give you a loan or something, or find you something. But seriously, if you can't, please just share out the project. That would be great. But yeah, we'd love to get 200 backers. This all means that we can move forward and we can do a lovely black and white version of Cull with our own stories. We can do stuff like this and provide a lovely black and white graphic novel series called The Atlantean. So please sign up for the email list at russleach.com. We'll tell you all about that as and when it happens. We won't fill your inbox up too full. Just, monthly newsletters, and so you can follow along and see where that goes. But thank you, everybody who's done that. And you can come find me on Comic Book Black Belt on the YouTube channel or on my Instagram or, all those other kind of social medias. You can get everything and the email list sign up at russleach.com.
Hey, Russ,
Any plans to go to another platform after you're done with Fun My Comic?
Maybe. There's going to be a black and white version of it in hardback, oversize, which is obviously going to be expensive, so not everybody's going to be able to get a hold of that. That will come to Fund My Comics soon. But I'm not sure at the moment. We'll see how we do.
Who just had the siren in the background? Was that?
Oh, it was probably me.
I
Sorry.
was going to say, because that was not a UK siren. They go,
Yeah, they're really annoying.
That was a US siren.
Yeah, I live next to a hospital,
Oh, there you go.
and there's a fire station also like right behind me, and I think there's also a police.
That's
Police.
good. When the
Not a full
electricity goes
Still,
out, that
if
means
somebody
you're on a
comes
good
into
No
your
grid.
house-
wonder you need so much sleep.
If somebody
Yep.
comes into your house, sets fire to it, and pushes you out the window, you know you're going to be fine.
You're all set.
Or your prime target for a missile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Glass
just-
half full.
Just about everywhere. If you go on Google, put my name in, you'll find lots of things. But mainly, I'm on Amazon. You can see all my books and magazines on there. You can see me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those things. But you can also find me on these programs with these lunatics most weekends. But just put my name in Google and you'll find something.
Yeah.
And also from my comic with Hatch. So go and have a look at that.
Yeah, Fund My Comic. Right now, look at the Shadow Kingdom Hatch annotated. Look at Soul Tack. Look at Hybrids is over there, as well as Chrome Dog. The Fool is still up there, I believe. Shadow Kingdom right now. We want to again say thank you to everybody who has backed this campaign. We deeply appreciate it. It's a great, great book. It's a faithful adaptation of the Robert E. Howard story, the one that's recognized as starting the sword and sorcery genre. The first Cull story, just as he becomes king of Valusia and finds out that his kingdom is about to, there's an attempt on his throne from a race of shape-shifting lizard people. So go over there, fundmycomic.com, look for the Shadow Kingdom. Deeply grateful for everybody who has backed that campaign already.
And keep talking about fundmycomic.com because it's a great platform and there are great books on there.
Amen.
It's a wide variety of just great stuff, and there's a lot more coming too. So go over there and take a look, bookmark it, because you'll want to refer back to it, especially anytime you want some great, great comics. It's where all the great independent comics, the great comics are all coming out of the independent scene right now anyway. So go over there and take a look. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my stuff over at arrowcomics.store. We're going to be back Friday morning, 5 a.m. live. We're going to be looking through some Elric by Roy Thomas, T. Michael Gilbert, and George Freeman as we look at Elric, Sailor on the Seas of Fate. And then we'll be back here again next Sunday, and we'll look over some DR and Quinch just for fun. So deeply appreciate you all being here. Let me remove that. Deeply appreciate you all being here. Make sure you go visit your local retailer and take a look. We show off this stuff because we love it. And there's so much great sequential artwork out there waiting to be discovered from who knows how long ago or even how recent. Go out. If you have a great comic, if you find a great comic, tell people about it. There's so much negativity in this marketplace. Yeah. We need to start spreading a lot more positivity about the stuff that we love. We're here because we want to be here. We love this art form. We love reading comics, and we love showing it off. That's why we do this on the Indie Comics Network. So, and Comic Book Black Belt and the Randy Zim Network as well. Go back and look at our old shows. There's so much great material out there that we're never going to run out of stuff to show you. Never. There'll always be something. So go out there and enjoy. Folks, if you love comics, give comics as a gift. Don't be afraid to admit it. It's a great art form, one of the best forms of self-expression, I think, available, especially personally. So
invented by Americans.
Well, hieroglyphics and
wow.
Japanese
drawings. There's a statement.
Yeah.
I rest my case, my lord.
Folks, have a great week. Take care. Remember, nothing's ever so serious that you have to cancel yourself out there. If you feel the need for help, find somebody, talk to somebody, go out there and reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself if there's somebody out there trying to cancel you. All of that's just, we've had a sad couple of weeks, and we've lost a lot of great people within this last week. That the Mark Bright has recently passed. Bob Bierbaum, who was a huge lover of comics, a passionate lover of comics, has also recently passed within the last week. And that it really does hurt the art form when you've got people that are passionate about this art form that pass like that. And we need to make our mark and go off and push more positivity and show our passion in other ways than jumping up on X and trolling people.
Yeah. Bob Bierbaum knew things about the history of this industry that nobody else knew. Nobody else was there at the beginning of the independent market the way he was.
Very much so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that he's gone. Yeah.
You get someone coming to try and troll you, tell them to do one. Stand up to them. That's the only way to get rid of these people.
Please do.
Block people. Turn the thing off. In fact, tell you what, turn your telly off. Turn the internet off. Go do something real.
It's not sticks and stones. It's just words.
Yeah.
The internet's not real.
Yeah. Go out, do something in the real world. Remember your family, friends, the people that you see every day. They're the people that matter. Okay?
They are.
Not what somebody thinks about you on the internet, because you're never going to meet them.
Hello, Peru. Hello, Tree
hello,
Goblin.
Peru.
Hope you're doing all right.
Hey, Tree.
Ephraim, we did see you there in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. Folks, we got to go. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
How dare you?
Yay! Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does.
In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is the Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at funmycomic.com.
Sausage.
Sorry, Gary, we really didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing. Get it out of my face.
Sausage.
Buttered sausage. It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
That's right. What does it mean, Doug? What does that mean?
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
Okay.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.